Hi, this is Clarence, Airsoft Surgeon. You are watching Valken Debrief.
Heads up. Keep your heads up. Oh, this is chicken tater. Need that phone right now. Push it up. Right now.
Hey, it's Thursday night, and welcome to the Valken Debrief episode number 50, and we are broadcasting live from sunny Northern California. This is the show where we share upcoming events, chat with our special guests, and try to give away free stuff. So thank you all for joining the biggest budget live show in Airsoft. I'm the Kaiju, the Supreme Commander of the Valken Alliance, and I'm your co-pilot for this evening. And to my right, your left, is the lighter side of Darth Valken. The good to his evil. It is Ryan Mac Wilson from Airsoft C3 joining me tonight. What's up, Ryan?
What's up?
Dude, thank you so much for being on the show. And man,
Glad to be here.
Can you, for those of you that are feeling a little, hearing a little reverb or hearing some wind, it's because we're sitting on the coast.
We are.
It's beautiful. We are sitting here on the coast of Northern California. The weather is just absolutely gorgeous.
70 degrees and sunny.
I know.
It's hard to beat.
I know. So put your tray tables up in the upright and locked position. Return your seats to the fully erect and upright position, because tonight we are going to have an awesome show for you. So you got to hit that share button, get some more friends in here, tag some friends. We got Greg Nickel from Hard Strike. We got Chris from Cerberus. Paolo Carbone Johnson from Calgary, Canada, the Great White North. Thank you for joining. We got Corey from Nemesis. We got Josh McNeil. A little birdie told me he had something a little to do with Kydex. He does some good Kydex work. Thanks for joining, Josh. Freddie Flux from Veterans for Airsoft. We got Chris Nielsen from Brigade Milsim in Colorado, representing Colorado in the house. We got Dr. Phil from Cerberus. And, man, we got Bruce Allen from Mutiny watching us. Austin Collins. I may or may not be on a road trip while listening to the show. Hey, that's okay. As long as you keep 10 and 2 and keep focused, you are good to go. We got We got Lucas Peter from Gunfire in Poland.
Oh, right on.
I know, right? That is awesome. Guys, hit the share button. Get our friends in here. Let's see. Who should we tag? Oh, hey, how about you tag Rich?
Oh, well, yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna tag Woodcock. Let's see if we can get your friends in here, guys. It's really easy. All you have to do is just hit that share button. Get your friend. Oh, you know what? Where is Mrs. Kaiju? She is not here, and she normally is. I'm gonna tag Mrs. Kaiju there. So share the show. It's real easy. We just did it right there in front of you. Okay. If we get up to 50 live viewers, and I know our special guests, they're sharing the show too. On their channels, share it to your home Valken Alliance region, whether it's the Midwest, the Northeast, the South. Share them to those pages. Let people know that we are on. We're halfway there. I feel it. We're at 20, 25, 26.
Oh, right.
We get up to 50. We get up to 50 viewers. Everybody that comments will get a chance to win a shirt, a T-shirt, one of the Valken Alliance T-shirts, or as seen on the Valken Debrief. That's one winner. We'll give away a second winner for Hammer Comment of the Night, and the Hammer Comment of the Night, looks a little bit like this. So whoever has the most ruthless or hilarious comment, you get a special, or you'll get the Hammer Comment of the Night, and you'll get to win a shirt as well. So share the broadcast, please. Let's get it up there. Tonight's production crew is Holly, back in Control Room B, back in Colorado. She is receiving our single Strong. I mean, we are kicking it, man. We're up almost to 1,500 kilobits per second. The connection here on the coast is amazing. I guess the liberals got it right. They got internet, You were just talking about AT&T versus Comcast.
Right. Oh. Hate Comcast, but I love AT&T. Fiber optic, man. That's the way to go.
Fiber optic is the way to go. And intern Eric didn't even make the flight because he forgot the backdrop. But look at this backdrop. This is gorgeous. So Eric got fired. We've got Avery right over there. Avery's joining us as our intern, newly appointed intern. But give it up for the best mod in the industry, mod 2.5, artificial intelligence, logarithms, kicking it. You see him in there. Give it a little heart. Here, I'll show you. Heart. Look at those hearts. Hearts for the mod. Show your love for the mod. We got Javier from One Grunt's Opinion. We got Holly from Mutiny Media. We got Bacon in the house from Dire Wolves.
Attaboy, hi, Bacon.
Yeah. I like how Greg from Hard Strike tags our special guest, Austin. Like, Greg, tag somebody that's not here already, man. Tag somebody that's not here. There you go. Brian Holt from 878 and Chad Holtz. There you go. So tonight's Overachiever Award, man, it was a close one, but tonight's Overachiever Award goes to Greg Nickel from Hard Strike Milsim, because you had absolutely nothing else to do but to get in there first and comment. So good job, Greg, for being our Overachiever of the hour. So those of you, this is your show. The viewers, we do it all for you each and every week. And the way you can help support the show is picking up one of our t-shirts. Either the black Join the Alliance, which has the tagline Arrive, Raise Hell, Leave. I love that tagline. Or you can pick the As Seen on the Valken Debrief, which has our little retro TV look there, like the Brady Bunch. And we'll be sending our special guests, Austin and Levi, as seen on the Valken Debrief, because they were actually as seen. And I'm going to get you one too, Ryan.
That sounds good.
I know, right? We can never have enough.
Never enough swag. So
I know, and not enough t-shirts, right?
Never.
T-shirts are good to go. So that's how you can support the show. And tonight's show, as always, is brought to you by the Valken Alliance. Just head on over to valkenalliance.com to sign up. Look at there, Holly is on the ball even with the time change. Just head on over there, fill out the form, and join the Alliance. But also, don't forget, after you fill out that form, you got to go back to Facebook, put in the search bar Valken Alliance, and look for your region and join your regional page. Like, for example, today we are in the Pacific region. So, which is, man, that's all the way like Alaska, California, that whole Hawaii. Hawaii is included in that as well. So, see all those region pages right there? Join them right there. They're right there. Man, Holly's on it tonight. Man, I'm going to give lots of love to Holly. Gotta share the love. But before we get into tonight's show, man, we got Tim Green, the Midwest Commander. Oh, Mrs. Kaiju is watching now. Whoop, whoop. All right. So we're going to take a quick commercial break because we know you guys want to get to it and get to it quick. So, Holly, take us out.
Hello, this is Chris from Enola Gay, and you're watching the Valken Debrief.
And we're back, episode number 50, quick commercial. Those Kilo gloves, gotta love them. I mean, the new padded knuckles, it's got like a gel knuckle. You tried them on it.
As soon as you get yeah, they protect. I mean, if you ever had a shot in your knuckle,
Or the worst are those shots on the fingers on, like you're holding the magwell or something.
Oh.
And man, Holly, she piped in our guest. Looky there, we have our special guest for tonight. From Airsoft Republic, home in the mighty Midwest region, we've got Austin, the Green Giant, Green, and Levi, the Redneck Leckrone. Welcome, guys. What's going on?
How's it going, man?
Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's great, man. Thank you so much for taking the time, because I know that you just, Austin, you broke the internet again. Thank you.
We did it again, man. What can I say?
Thank you very much for breaking the internet. We're about to get into events, and we're going to talk about Sleeping Giant during the event segment. Or actually right after the event segment, before we cut to another commercial. So I know you're ready to talk about that. And we also got to talk about why your beard game is just so lacking compared to Levi down there. I mean, like Levi's like just.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit puberty someday. Just wait on it.
Oh man! So the events today are brought to you by evic.com here in beautiful Alhambra, California, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here this weekend. Is they're having the grand opening of the Evic Outpost at GamePod.
That's right.
Which I haven't been back. So you guys were at GamePod July.
Almost a year ago today.
Almost a year ago.
For the
It's
underground.
Yeah, the underground event, which it's going to happen again, guaranteed.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming. But it's been 4 years for me
Really?
for going to GamePod.
Oh, it's a massive change. I was
I
just
saw the
there.
Did you, Levi and Austin? Did you see the video that Evic Matt put out of what the inside looks like?
Yeah, it looks pretty intense.
I don't think I've seen it yet. I'll have to look it up after this.
Shame on you.
Behind the ball, man. Behind the ball.
Yeah. So, because I'm really impressed with like that lookout area.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, the whole viewing gallery.
Yeah.
You have the store as soon as you walk in, and you're hit with that. They actually have bathrooms now, like
legit
real,
bathrooms.
legit
You don't have to go
bathrooms,
outside to
with
the
a flushing toilet,
to the
you know?
porta potty anymore.
And
That's
the-
rare in airsoft.
And the player setup area, I mean, they've totally expanded that and made that really nice. I mean, yeah, and they've managed to keep the field the same size. I mean, I think maybe they lost
know.
a hair of it, but
Yeah,
the
maybe.
field is so big. I mean, holy cow. It's
So-
great.
Oh, Darth Valken's talking about lightning and some serious hotspots going on. Man, what are you talking about, Josh? But anyway, so we're gonna get into the 3-minute event update. If you got an event and you want us to share it on the debrief, you have to have a Facebook event page, okay? And send us a Facebook message with the event link. Don't send me an email with a bunch of gibberish and stuff. It's the event link, because what we do is we share it here on the show. The mod 2.5 will put it in the chat with the link so people can just go click on it, hit interested, hit going, find out about it. It's the easiest way to spread information. So no Facebook event page, no sherry. Okay? So here we go. And guys, if Austin and Levi, if you have any comments about any of these events as I'm going through them, just shout it out, and let's kick it off. So
Absolutely.
August 3rd in Lockport, Illinois, Codename Thunder is putting on Codename Thunder 15 at Legacy Adventure Park in the Midwest region. I know Airborne Tim is going to be heading off to that this weekend. And as we talked about, evic.com is having their grand opening of their Evic Outpost. Now, they sold 500 tickets
That's right.
to this, and they sold out. This is a 120,000 square foot
Yep.
indoor arena over there at GamePod this Saturday in Antioch, California. Literally, now you could still come.
Sure.
If you don't have a
Check out
ticket,
the store.
you can check out the store. We're gonna have they're gonna have a bunch of stuff on sale, a bunch of swag.
A lot of vendors.
A lot of vendors, a lot of e-slebs. I mean, Airsoft C3 is going to have a booth. You
Yep.
can check out what they're doing.
We'll be there.
I won't have a booth though.
What?
Yeah, they got to find me. It's like Carmen San Diego. They gotta find me. So there's several things.
The kaiju sticks out.
Yes. So you find me. First 100 players get a free bag of 1,000 count ABS precision BBs.
Oh.
1,000 round bag. And then first 50 players that come to me and sign up for the Valken Alliance on my iPad, you're going to get a free patch.
Okay.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, also coming up after that, August 10th through the 11th is Extreme Airsoft in Rhode Island. They're having their 9-year anniversary event. It's the birthday, and they are up in the northeast region. Up in Rhode Island. So if you're in that northeast region, be sure to check them out. And coming up August 11th in the Midwest region, we got Center Mass Airsoft doing Operation Extraction, and the Youth League is helping put that on. I can't remember the Youth League's name at the moment because I won't give Avery a strike. She didn't know. She didn't put it in the notes, but I'm sure one of our famed viewers will tag the Youth League that are helping out with that event in the chat. And also August 18th in Hobart, Indiana, Cobra Airsoft Legion and Blast Camp are hosting Battle of Naboo, a tracer unit game. Now you guys, Austin and Levi, you guys want to go to this, right?
Oh yeah, yep. Separatists all the way, man.
I know.
Right.
What? No, long live the Empire, you rebel scum. Oh my goodness.
Those are fun games to go to for
Oh.
sure. So much fun.
Especially if you have both red and green BBs.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
And because red's harder to see.
It's way harder to see.
But from your perspective, from shooting, it's not harder. It's for other people, it's harder.
Right.
So, August 24th through the 25th in the Rockies region, American Paintball Coliseum is hosting Battle of Chernobyl 5. Friday night, they got that zombie match going on, which you can also use 0.2 gram tracers. And then all day Saturday for their scenario event, August 24th, 25th in the Rockies region. Then as we transition into September, Labor Day weekend, September 1st and 2nd in the Midwest region, D-Day Adventure Park is hosting Wargame Oklahoma at their field at Wyandotte, Oklahoma. And everybody has heard of them for American Milsim. Broken Home is there, but also D-Day hosts their Oklahoma Invasion.
Right.
Their
D-Day Invasion.
Yep, D-Day Invasion on the paintball side. So they're finally doing up their Airsoft event for that. And I think we know a little bit about this event. September 7th through the 9th in the Midwest region. Airsoft Republica? Is that
Who are they?
I know,
Nailed it.
right?
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Airsoft Republic is hosting Sleeping Giant at Chanute Air Force Base in Illinois. And you guys went live with tickets yesterday,
Yes.
broke the internet, and
Again, third time this year, man.
third
Players are
time this
crazy.
year. So they're about 75-80% sold.
That's awesome,
Okay,
guys.
they've
Wow.
only got a quarter, 25% or less tickets left. So you guys got to get on it if you want to join. And how much are tickets, guys?
So tickets are $100 and include the custom patch and also raffle ticket. So you get
That's
access
so
to the whole
cheap.
weekend. Yeah. Yep.
It's so cheap. It's so, dude, $100. Multi-day Milsim event at a brand new AO. This place looks sick. They posted pictures on their Facebook page and on the event page, and that place looks awesome.
I'm pretty sure it's probably the best event you've mentioned so far. Not that I'm biased or anything.
No. You're not biased. You're not biased at all. You're not biased at all.
No, I will say, of all the places I've had the opportunity to tour this year, it's definitely the coolest location for me. Just all of the military history and stuff. Most of the museum pieces are still in there, actually. So you've got actual stuff from Desert Storm and every other, World War and that kind of thing. So it's pretty cool. So.
Nice.
Very cool. Awesome.
A couple weeks later, September 22nd through the 23rd in the Northeast region, Operation Lion Claws is hosting for the second time this year Operation X, Enemy at the Gates at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. I will be there setting up the Valken Alliance booth with Team Cerberus out of New Jersey, a Valken Alliance team, and Dreads Airsoft. Several of those guys are in the chat watching tonight. They're going to be rolling SOCOM, the tan multicam faction, and I have picked the brain of Greg Brothers, and I'm not going to be shooting. I'm not going to be playing alongside those. I'm going to be role playing.
Oh.
They've totally, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it's done deal. I'm going to be a role player at OpX coming up,
Wow.
and it is going to be awesome. Moving into October 5th through the 7th in the South, Blakely, Georgia, Centurion Milsim is hosting Oscar Mike 2018. And these guys, Bubba Moore and these guys putting this on, they're all about immersion, right? They're all about immersion, and they keep the numbers lower. You know, it doesn't have to be this 400, 500, 700 player event. They keep it down to where the experience is all that matters. I mean, guys are walking away from this thing like going, dude, that was like the best fun I ever had. You know, I'm like, how much did you shoot? I don't even think I shot once.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, oh, so what happened? I can't tell you. You got to go. So we're telling you, you guys got to go. Check it out if you're in this southern region in Georgia. Oh man, we're coming back to Center Mass Airsoft again, October 6th in the Midwest. They are having their 1-year anniversary event.
That's great.
Dude, that is awesome. I mean, you know, Extreme Airsoft Rhode Island's 9-year, Center Mass is celebrating their 1 year. We love seeing these folks that own stores, own fields, coming back
Love
year
it.
after year.
Love it.
And it's because of you, the player. You are supporting local, and we love to support local. So that is October 6th. Following weekend, October 12th through the 14th in the Appalachian region. Region 2, Command Decisions Wargame Center is hosting Fulda Gap Airsoft Scenario. So this kicks out about another 800 to 1,000 people.
Right.
You know, you got Roanoke Airsoft vending, you've got Stampede Airsoft vending, you've got oh gosh, I'm having a blank. Samasati. Dang it! You guys know what
we were just talking about it.
I know, we were just talking about it. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his store right now. But yeah, so Full to Gap is going on October 12th through the 14th. And coming back to the Pacific region, October 20th, the following weekend. Finally, Rich finally has made it into the chat.
Oh, well, hey,
He's
better late than never.
Finally
join
watching.
us.
Hey, Andrew Walker from Dogs of War Milsim is in the house. Walker, where's your brother and his wife, Sisu, man? Airsoft Junkies, thank you, Freddie. Freddie Flex from Veterans Airsoft coming in clutch. Airsoft Junkies, I can't believe we were just talking about it too. So, October 20th, Airsoft Con. They had like, what, 4,000 people last year?
Oh, it was the
insane.
biggest event that I've been to every one of them, and it was bigger.
Oh my gosh,
it was
yeah.
enormous.
It's EVIC's annual
It's something
event.
to see.
This is what? Is this their 10th year? Or it's their 9th year? No, they're not quite. They're still in the single digits. I think they're like.
They're still in single digits. I don't think it's even. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's 7th, 8th year. I can't.
Yeah.
Maybe last year was 7 and this year's 8. So you got to be there to check that out. That's an all-day thing. We'll have a booth set up there with all the Valken products, and you can. The Valken Alliance will be representing strong. October 26th to 28th, the following weekend in the southern region, Hard Strike Milsim is hosting Operation Treefall at the Kisatchie National Forest in Louisiana.
Wow.
Dude, this is huge. This is
Yeah.
going to be huge.
How big is the field?
I don't know, Greg. Greg Nickel, how big is the play area for Kisatchie?
Because that just sounds huge.
It's a national forest, man. It's
Right?
a national forest. Oh my gosh. So let's see what else we got here. Oh, and that's it. October. That was our events.
Right on.
Yeah. So man, that we covered August, September, October, and I think Holly just got like, no, I'm not adding November yet. Nope, we're too close. We got too many events going on in October.
A lot of good stuff in that couple of months, though.
Oh, I know. Well, it's July. The hot heat month is over, which you guys can attest to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at them shake their heads up and down. Do you think you'll have another event in July?
I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but moving forward, yeah, that's a hard pass for us.
It's a roll
So,
of the dice, right? I mean, you just don't
It
know
is.
what you're going to get,
It is.
you know?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
other day is different. And the weather, I mean, you could look out 2 hours in advance and it might change. So,
No,
Oh,
absolutely.
Greg says over 800 acres.
Oh my gosh.
Well, obviously he's going to scale it down, you
Okay.
know. But I mean, still, that's a lot of area.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
That is a lot of ground to cover. So that finishes up our events brought to you tonight by evic.com. If you don't know who evic.com is, go back to living under your rock. I mean, seriously, come on. So Holly's going to take us out to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back for our Q&A portion. Get your questions, get your comments ready, because we're going to be talking about locations, specifically venues, with Austin and Levi, because again, how many events have you guys done this year?
so Sleeping Giant will be our 4th event, and then we'll have another one in mid-October.
They have
So
been
we'll do
getting
5 this year.
Man, they've been getting some sick AOs. So we're going to be talking about venues and picking their brains on what. So get your questions ready. Share the show. We're up to about 32 live viewers. You know, we're over the hump halfway. Let's see if we can get up there. And I'll have the mod. We'll check with mod 2.5 to see if any of you guys have had the hammer comment of the night. And oh, we got Daniel George Altman in the house. Danarchy, what is up? Down from the Texas Southern region. Bo Johnson in the house. Man, you guys are just bringing them in here. Airsoft C3 posts. I hear Ryan. All right. I'm getting a signal from Holly. She wants to hit that commercial button, so we'll be right back. Okay.
Hi, I'm Lion Class Angel Sierra, and you're watching Valken Debrief.
Awesome. welcome back to episode number 50. I think Darth Valken is messing with us. He's saying it's stuck on the regional screen. I'm still seeing, we're still got a strong tone. We got a good, strong signal. So if any of you folks out there see anything wrong, we're always watching. Just put it up in the chat with your questions. And I think Mod 2.5 is getting a little overloaded. He's trying to look for the hammer comment of the night. And Valken Josh, I think, weird. Yeah, there's Mod 2.5 telling Darth Valken, hey, we're watching this awesome video. so we're still good to go, because I'm still seeing it on my phone. I'm still seeing it, on the broadcast screen. So, and Holly, yep, she's giving me a thumbs up on her screen. We are still transmitting strong. So if you got questions, let's share the show somewhere. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna tag Papa Kaiju. Where's he at? He's out here hiding. There he is. I'm gonna tag Papa Kaiju. So tag another friend, share, get everybody in here. It's time for another big share. Let's share. Let's see. I'm gonna get into our live show. Right? Meow.
Meow.
Meow. License and registration. Right? Meow. Bo's asking, what AO was that on the break? That was at Red Storm East in Pennsylvania at an old lace factory.
Oh, yeah.
They made stuff
which is gone now, right?
It's gone. They did lace pre-war. Then during the war, World War II, they did parachutes. Now they're just, it's gone. They finally demolished it. Red Storm is no more. So John Liu and Lion Claw's got to find a new venue. But as you guys are warming up your questions, Hunter Staples says, where can I get some of those sick red headphones, Austin? I don't know. They look kind of pink from my screen.
I think that they were originally a red, and they've just seen so much use, that I think I can pull off the pink pretty well now. So
there you go.
I'll have to send you the link, Hunter. Don't worry.
All right. So let's kick off. Start talking about venues and locations. So, what is your guys' main criteria when searching for a new venue? I mean, how many things are important to you right off the bat?
Yeah, so I'm going to say that there are 3 main criteria we use to kind of narrow down and focus our efforts. One of those being, first and foremost, we always look for locations that have like a historical relevance. So perfect example, like our event at Sleeping Giant, that place was an Air Force base, Air Force training base for 80 some years, and it was a military museum. I believe that history is kind of something that transfers over, and it makes our job a little bit easier if we can kind of have a backstory to it, and it makes making the storyline a little bit easier too if we can actually tie in real world aspects to it. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing that we use to narrow it down. Outside of that, it's important to kind of realize, location wise, how close are you to hotels, places to eat, that kind of thing. Recognizing if it's in a city, what kind of permits and what you're going to need. So you'd have to look at that and be like, okay, here's the kind of oversight we need. But also, how far away is it from your main player bases? You can't just have something that's, we're not going to go out and do something in northern North Dakota because 90% of our players are 10 plus hours away from that. So that's something you have to keep in mind as well. And I would say, if we're going on to the last point here, it's important to consider as well how easy the landowner is going to be to work with. Just the optics of our sport. You want to find someone who's going to understand what's going on, and someone that's going to be able to work with you and kind of make it a successful event. So, Levi, do you have anything to add?
No, go ahead.
So, historical relevance, location, proximity to venue and landowner relationship. Those are kind of your...
Yeah, I would say those are the main 3.
Yeah.
They kind of help us narrow it down, because obviously there's a lot of venues out there. Those kind of help us focus on what we want to find.
I mean, that's... Yeah. When I ask these guys this question, I mean, that's very specific.
It is very...
they have a target.
Well, obviously because I think we've all been to events or AOs that were not well scouted, were not, whatever, and so you see some of this stuff. I mean, yeah, no, it's great. You guys, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's definitely we've learned a lot in the events we've done. It's definitely been a trial and error thing, but we've definitely got our list down of what we need and what we want in order to have a successful AO. So
when do you guys coordinate like the first site visit? Your initial site visit to a new AO. When do you do that?
So Austin's kind of our front guy. He's the one that's going to make that first contact with the landowner or the site owner. So usually he wants to make that first site visit as soon as possible. So as soon as he gets in contact with them, they say, yeah, this is something we're interested in. Basically, as soon as physically possible, he's going to get out there and do that first site visit and give the place a good look over.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's strike while the iron is hot. I think that's a good, something that you kind of have to keep in mind, because you want to, I don't know, it's tough because it's something that they don't understand necessarily. So you almost want to make that human contact as soon as possible, because you contact them either via phone or email. You want to let them know, like, hey, there's a face behind this, and just kind of answer any questions that they have in person and make that human connection as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a couple guys trying to get the hammer comment of the night. So Hunter Staples, he's asked about those sick red headphones.
I'm sure he is.
But we got Airborne Tim. Levi looks like the uncle you only talk to once a year. And Hunter Staples says Levi looks like my dad. So I don't know if that's a good thing.
That's a compliment.
Oh.
Hunter's dad's a good-looking man.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're talking about how good looking another man is, Levi.
Hey, I'm confident.
Yeah, you are. I've seen the wedding photos. You're good to go. Oh man, we got Danny.
Oh,
Danny's in the
hey,
house.
look at that. Where's Tiff?
Danny, yeah. Where's Tiffany? We got Alphonse Andrew Colis also in the house. There's Tiff.
There she
Alphonse.
Jeffrey Thompson is also in the house. Hey, we got a question from David Padan. I'm hoping it's David. Dave's got a question. It's actually directed at Austin. Austin, can you speak a little bit about player caps? Apollo Rising had a lot of airsofters in a small high school, whereas your more recent events have been more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Apollo Rising was definitely a learning experience. For anybody that doesn't know, Apollo Rising is really our first event, more of a proof of concept that we hosted last October. And it was, 150,000 square foot high school, I believe. And we packed in about like 200 players. And it was a little rough. So I think what we've kind of decided with player counts now is we would rather underestimate and have, a little bit more maneuverability, and have players be able to kind of flank a bit more than overestimate it, and then we kind of adjust from there. And if we're going to have future events there, you kind of, take that feedback and run with it. But better to underestimate than overestimate, in our opinion.
Yeah. Gotcha. A lot of it comes back again to that trial and error, like we said. Like, obviously that first game we had, it wasn't awful, but it's definitely a high player count. So we've definitely learned from that and moving forward from there. So
now I'm remembering Alphonse. Is that how you say his name, Levi?
Alphonse.
He says, "Hey, leave Levi alone. He's mine." He's
he's got dibs.
He's Blackbeard, isn't he?
He is Blackbeard.
He is. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We want him to officially change his name to Blackbeard, right?
We do.
So, in the chat, if you think Alphonse, damn it. Alphonse to change his name to Blackbeard, hashtag Blackbeard in the chat right now. Let's, we got to get him to, he's Blackbeard. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, go see the videos from the last event. Big dude. One, I love him because he's a Star Wars fan, first and foremost. But
Star Wars.
He's got that Blackbeard going on. So I'm gonna do it right now. Hashtag Blackbeard. Put it up in the chat, folks.
It's happening, Alphonse. It's happening.
It's happening. Let's see. Greg from Hardstrike, another question. How do you guys feel about other producers coming in behind you to poach your venues?
I'll tackle this one, I guess, and I can let Levi kind of interject. I think it's something that is important for the industry in order to have sustainable AOs. You can't just have one company kind of holding stake over it and holding one event a year. But at the same time, I also believe that there is, you have to approach it with a bit of respect, and you don't, definitely nothing like backhanded, nothing behind their backs. You approach them as, a former or fellow business person, and you basically approach them with a business idea. And at the end of the day, it's one of those things where, you should have different enough gameplay styles where the AO shouldn't be the only thing that matters. So.
Yeah, like Austin said, basically, we're both here to grow the sport. We're both here because we love airsoft and we wanted to bring it to our area, to the Midwest. So, we're okay with other people using AOs after us and stuff like that. But there's definitely like a, respectful and correct way to do it. And, everybody can be up front. There's right ways and wrong ways to do things. So.
Sure, I get it. I mean, you don't want someone to ruin your return visit to that AO.
Exactly.
Just by hosting their event. So, yeah.
Yep.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Right.
Exactly.
Rule number one.
And we've seen it happen before. So, it's like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Rule number one, don't touch my stuff.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
What are some important goals you guys want to accomplish during the first visit? Like, what do you guys decide whether a venue will work or won't?
So I'll let Levi kind of interject afterwards. But basically what we look for is essentially how playable is the venue going to be. So big things we look for are, windows. How prevalent are windows? Is that something that we're going to have to be concerned about and cover up and that kind of thing? Cleanup, what's the cleanup going to look like? What are the landowners looking for? We're making that initial human contact with the landowners, trying to get on the same page and kind of figure out whether or not this business relationship is going to be, mutually beneficial or not. And then playability, how is it set up? Is it going to be something where it's all indoors? Are we going to have outside access? Where parking areas, that kind of thing. So we could try to get all of the logistical stuff nailed down and figured out. And then, kind of get the seed planted in the landowner's mind about like initial dates and that kind of thing. But the main thing is just making that human contact and just figuring out, is this something that we want to pursue any further? Or, because time is a valuable resource, especially in the event hosting industry. You got to be like, okay, is this good or is this not? Is this something that's worth my time, or should I be visiting somewhere else? Because there's only so many weekends in the year that you can visit or host events. So
absolutely,
you always got to think about that.
Yeah.
What are some, or who are, I'm going to use an old police term, persons of interest, POI. What other POIs outside the venue's landowner are important to you guys when coordinating an event?
So that's pretty AO specific, but off the bat, you're obviously always going to want to let like local law enforcement and local emergency responders and stuff know what's going on, just in case they have to respond to that scene for some reason. They're not coming in, seeing all these people with kit, all these guns and everything. So you definitely want to give them a heads up. If you're inside of like a city township or something like that, you're going to have to check with the local government and see what kind of permits you need to have for if you're using pyro for your events, if you have vendors and stuff like that. So those are some of the main ones. What else, Austin?
Yeah, I would say as long as you've got those two mainly covered, maybe also be worth reaching out to tourism boards too, because sometimes they can help out with things like hotels and whatnot. And kind of the more that we can get the local community involved in airsoft events, honestly, the more beneficial it is for everybody, because all of a sudden, people are seeing it in a positive light where it's tourism dollars coming in and it's a positive outlet for a place that's not seeing a lot of action. So the more people you can get involved without making it, too many cooks in the kitchen per se, I think that's definitely beneficial.
Do you ever get pushback, or do people kind of generally get the idea of what you're doing and are okay with it? Or, I mean, how does that conversation go?
The responses are very varied, I would say.
Okay.
There's some communities that are very much like, if we have a gun problem, we don't like the optics of this particular sport, it's not going to work for us. But they're usually pretty upfront about it, and we're able to kind of adjust and be like, okay, this location isn't going to work, and we're moving on or whatnot. But there's a learning curve, I would say. You definitely have to make sure that the landowners know exactly what's going on, and explain to them the situation, because the optics of it, I mean, we're all aware of what the sport looks like to someone who doesn't have any experience with it. So I think it's just getting past that hurdle, and that tends to make things a lot easier.
And Greg Nickel has a question, but Darth Valken is bringing a hammer comment or hammer question right now. What about helpful, and I'm doing air quotes here, what about helpful concerned citizens?
Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah.
Concerned
It's
citizens,
very rare that those helpful concerned citizens are actually helpful. So,
contrary to popular belief.
yeah. But no, it's obviously, like Austin said, there's definitely a kind of an optic to what we're doing, involving firearms and stuff, replica firearms and stuff like that. So we definitely have to address that. You can't just kind of wave people away. So you got to, be polite and professional and deal with the helpful bystanders and just explain what's going on. So,
Hey, that's a great way to put it. And hey, everybody say, what up, Gino? Also, give Gino a big thank you. It's his dollars that go for paying for the satellite for this broadcast, flying me out to beautiful sunny California. So everyone give a big thumbs up, big V's up to Gino, the boss man. He's watching. We're always very grateful, and he's a very gracious man. Love it. We got Milsim Medic in the house from Nemesis Milsim. We got some other folks. Man, we got some new folks joining us in here. So get back to Greg Nichols' question before I forget, before too many other questions get in there. Do you guys think woods ball is dying? Do players seem to only want established structure, like CQB, urban?
I wouldn't say it's dying, but I think especially here in the Midwest, that's like 90% of what we have. That's what I grew up playing. That's what I've kind of always done. So I think especially for the Midwest, some kind of CQB or indoor AO is especially exciting and new for people. So I wouldn't say it's dying. I just think people want something new and different than what they've done their whole lives. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say I feel similarly, where it's a situation where, woods ball, like you said, that's how I got started too. Everybody in the Midwest has land. Everybody has, 300 acres where you can go out and just have a few people over and whatnot. And I think it just is a situation where, like you said, it's different. But it's also a balance where, you start to get too many CQB environments. All of a sudden people are like, man, I like that, that breath of fresh air, and I like being able to move around in the woods. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think it's dying. I think it just goes through cyclical movements as people, kind of decide what they want that particular month or what they're feeling like at that time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you determine the date of an event? Are you looking at everything around you? Is it a time of year thing? Is it a weather thing?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so I would say the first thing we look at is the landowner's availability first and foremost, because at the end of the day, we're catering to them. You want to make sure that your relationship is beneficial for both parties. So basically, you're going to be like, what works with you, what time of year, what not, like that, and they're going to be able to, give you some feedback. Second thing we look for would be what are competing events going on, and are there open weekends where we may have more availability? Because at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, there's only 52 weeks in a year. You don't want to try and compete with other event companies just because, quite honestly, the industry isn't, especially if it's another company that's in the same region as you. You want to kind of be courteous of them, and don't make players choose between companies if you can. That's just not super healthy for the industry, in my opinion. So those are the two main things we look for. And then obviously holidays and that kind of thing you want to steer clear of.
Wow. Having an event not on a holiday. That's a concept right there. Because
my wife would like that.
I know a lot of, not that it's a dig,
It's
but
not.
a lot of event producers have their events on major holidays. I mean, yes, it plays into it too, because people have the Friday or the Monday off. It allows for drive time for those out of region or out of state players. But it's just like, my wife's like, wow, this is like going to be like the 6th Memorial Day weekend. You're going to be gone.
Right.
I'll bring back presents.
Yeah.
There you go. Come bearing gifts.
Yeah.
And I think I've even seen some ones on Mother's Day too, and I'm like, man, you guys are really taking a risk with that one.
Yeah.
That's really some relationships there.
That's the one event.
Yep.
Nope.
I've seen them on Valentine's Day. I mean,
Oh.
Well, I got to beat up John Liu.
or that weekend anyway.
OpX in June was not a holiday. It was Mrs. Kaiju's birthday weekend.
Ooh.
I know.
He should have planned around that, man. He should have
I
planned
did. No,
around that.
we did something beforehand.
You gotta
I'm
come
just,
home with a
there-
better present.
but I got the I got the evil stink eye.
Yeah.
One more question on site visits before. Do you guys conduct site visits together?
So the way we do things is Austin's kind of our point man. I have like a full-time job and a family and stuff, so I don't have quite as much time to dedicate. So we actually do. Austin usually does an initial site visit by himself, and then we do a second site visit together, and sometimes with even more staff members.
Wow, that was. He just that was quick and concise.
There you go.
Freddie Flux. Where did Freddie's question go? What's the recipe for successfully promoting events?
Awesome facial hair.
Oh.
Awesome facial hair.
Awesome.
Okay. Well,
Well, I guess you're not successfully promoting your event, because he doesn't have facial hair.
We're operating at 50% efficiency right now. So.
Yeah. No, go
Um,
ahead on that one, Austin.
I think that's tough because it definitely depends on the particular event, because one way to market one venue is not going to be beneficial for marketing another venue. Like, perfect example, a place like Sleeping Giant is going to benefit a lot from pictures, I believe. A place like Scorched Earth, for any of you guys who saw that venue, I mean, you're not going to be able to post enough pictures to even give an idea. So you need to have like a concise 1 minute long video that just gives a general overview of everything and shows off some of the cooler features and whatnot. But I think really just highlighting features and kind of making things show things that aren't something that people can usually play at, that tends to help out quite a bit. And then constantly being in communication as well. Nobody likes an event coordinator that they can't get a hold of. So I think that's just being active in the community and whatnot helps a lot.
Yeah. And we have an awesome player base that's really good at getting the word out anytime we drop any kind of info. So being really in touch with your player base, and that really helps too.
Definitely.
Man, the chat is blowing up. Oh, we got one from Andrew Hollum. Hey, Ryan from Airsoft C3. I totally know that guy. This one time in Las Vegas.
This one time.
I'm glad it stopped there. Okay.
Oh, which that was episode 24,
Right.
and we're at episode 50. So, I mean, we're going strong. We don't plan to take the.
About every 25 episodes, I'll make an appearance.
I know every 25. We couldn't do last week because it was you had a scheduling conflict.
Right.
I know.
Just
We had to get with your agent. And for those of you that don't know, we have a special e-celeb in the chat, Chad Dolce Carter, who was just released from Facebook jail.
Wow.
Yes. He was on
There we
Facebook
go.
jail
You
for.
can get out of Facebook jail? I didn't even know you could get out.
Dude, he told.
I thought it was life sentence.
Yesterday, he looked like a cholo, but I'd like to say chola. Chola.
There we go.
That's what I like to call him. Man, more. Chad, that's what my cellmate said. Tim Green trying to bring the hammer. Does Levi and Austin hold hands skipping on site visits? Ooh.
Sure.
We'll just
You
leave
gotta
that
have that
alone.
instant contact. It's good teamwork and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Dylan Sweet says missile bases are all the rage these days, which actually goes back to a question by Greg Nickel as well. Is do you guys think that urban or CQB venues are overhyped, whether it's a Nike missile base, whether it's a prison, whether it's a military training facility. And again, not a knock on these venues, but do you think a lot of people put too much, when I say people, I mean players, do you think a lot of players put too much emphasis on CQB? That it's, oh, I'm not going, I mean, woods, I'm not going to play in the woods. I want to play in a building. What do you guys think about that?
I think that it's a situation where the venue's only half the battle, right? So to say. So basically, you can have an event that's in a building that's in a really, really cool location, but if you don't have any sustenance to the game, I mean, players just aren't going to come away having a good time. They're going to have great things to say about the venue itself, but if you don't provide that, if you don't utilize the venue, that's just a wasted opportunity. That being said, there's lots of things that you can do to make woods ball very interesting too. So it's a fine balance where you have to make sure that you're upholding both ends of each side. You can't, give one too much and, kind of starve the other, because you're going to end up with a game that either is extremely interesting, but maybe it doesn't attract the players because it's woods ball or something like that, or you're going to end up with a game that, it could be the coolest location in the world, but if it's a big open play, I mean, players just aren't going to remember it or have a good time at it. So it's a balance for sure.
Yeah.
And
at the end of the,
go ahead.
no, just at the end of the day, it's airsoft. I mean, a big part of it is looking cool. So let's be honest, you get cooler pictures in a CQB environment. You get to do all your little tactical movements and everything. So I think that's why there's so much hype around that.
Gotcha.
It still has to be about the game, though.
It does.
At the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No matter
Absolutely.
where you are,
Absolutely.
it has to be about the game. So.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And Holly signaled me about the hammer comment of the night is now, I'm sorry, not Holly, Mod 2.5, is going to Christine, the Milsomedic Salt Cider.
Uh-oh.
She says,
What'd she say?
Dolce Carter sounds like a Starbucks drink. Oh, and then Sabrina comes back, don't be haters, hashtag Starbucks rules. So right now, Christine's got the hammer comment of the night going after Chad, the Dolce Carter, the E-Celeb. I am loving it. Let's see, we had Freddie from Veterans for Airsoft. Great dude, him and Rachel, gotta love him. You guys know him.
Yep.
He asks, thoughts on dropping more than one event at a time?
It's tricky. For sports shirts, we definitely had like a short lead time into that, just because of a lot of red tape that we got wrapped up in. So it's something for us that we've definitely learned is the more lead time you can give players, the better, just for their pocketbooks, for planning, everything like that. So, I mean, it definitely depends on the event company, but I don't think it's something that I think it's something we'll probably avoid.
Yeah, I would say it's one of those situations where if we, I don't know, it's tough. It's a dual-edged sword, because if you're going to release your event schedule at the beginning of the year, it's going to allow players plenty of time to, be able to plan for that and everything. But at the same time, you definitely lose out on the hype factor if you announce all 5 at once, because it's almost like, I would almost say it kind of cheapens the excitement of it, because all of a sudden you're like, whoa, here's all these things, and you can't maybe appreciate them as much as you would if they were released individually. And we like to make sure, just the way we run it, that everything that we announce is something that we would stand behind and make sure that it gets the attention it deserves, I guess. So I don't know, it's a fine balance for sure. And we're definitely still learning the right time frame to do things. I mean, some things you just, as an event company, you don't have control of, like Levi said, the red tape. If we're wrapped up with 4 months of red tape, that puts a real strain on exactly what we schedule-wise. So it's one of those things that you adapt and overcome, but I think different companies do it differently, and at the end of the day, it's up to what the players will expect. If they expect you to have 2 months notice, or they expect you to have 10 months notice, it's just living up to those expectations.
Gotcha. And so, we were talking about, the initial site visit, done by Austin to do a lot of the admin stuff, but you guys do go back for a second site visit but with a much larger group with a much different focus. You know, Levi, talk us through, you know, because I haven't heard of a lot of event producers going back for a second site visit. Usually they find everything they need on their first one. So Levi, tell us about what you do and how big is that second site visit?
Yeah, so like we said, Austin does that initial site visit, and that's a lot of the logistics stuff like, hey, is this place going to work? So that second site visit is where we come in, where I come in, and usually a couple of the crew members, and we'll actually go through the AO with kind of a fine-tooth comb, and we'll actually start planning our gameplay. We'll do a lot of promotional footage, stuff like that. And basically we get down to the real nitty-gritty of what's going to be happening. So we do 2 site visits because this isn't a full-time job for all of us. So, you know, we kind of got to plan around our own schedules. So that's why we do it that way. But yeah, that second site visit's really just the nitty-gritty of gameplay planning and all the little details.
Gotcha. And hey, everybody! It's somebody's birthday in the house. It is Sabrina's birthday. Everyone say in the chat, "Happy birthday, Sabrina!" Sabrina Carnes at Hofer.
Happy birthday, Sabrina.
Happy birthday, Sabrina!
Happy birthday!
Everybody wish happy birthdays to Sabrina. So, what are your guys' thoughts on camping on site?
Yeah, so traditionally, if you've been to any of our events, I don't think we've allowed camping one time. The issue that we have with camping a lot of times is one, pretty much, yeah, every AO we've done so far has been a new AO. So it's a situation where you don't want to, I guess, shock the landowner too much into also having not only people there all weekend, and this is a location that they're used to not having really anybody there, and all of a sudden you have people there all night too. One, they're concerned about anything that could happen, liability issues, that kind of thing. So that requires us to have at least one staff member on site, which quite honestly, at the end of the day, I mean, staff members, it's not as easy as it looks to put on an event, and you know they're going to want a hot shower to go back to and a bed and everything. So for just to keep things simple, usually the first time around we won't allow camping. Now if it's something that the landowner comes back and they're like, we want to have this next time if it's going to help the turnout, or if it's something that I can charge a small fee for or something like that, then we're willing to listen to it. But it's not something we usually ask for the first time around.
What kind of on-site resources do you guys provide, you know, at a venue? So, for instance, electricity or portalets or parking or what? Water?
Definitely porta potties are the main thing you're going to want to have because that's kind of like a basic necessity. A lot of the AOs we've gone to, obviously we've done kind of a lot of more CQB and urban AOs, so a lot of them have, at the minimum, some kind of electricity on site. So that's always super helpful for players for charging batteries and whatnot and stuff like that. But other than that, we don't really worry about, you know, bringing out water or bringing electricity to a site if it's not already there. Sometimes we'll, if depending on where the AO is at, we'll look at bringing food trucks out or something like that if it's quite a drive for a restaurant or something like that. But mainly just making sure people have a place to use the restroom and making sure they have some place to get fed in between halves.
Food trucks are a great idea. Like,
Oh yeah.
I've thoroughly enjoyed every time that I've been in an AO where they brought food trucks out. That is beautiful.
But
It's a
one
treat.
piece of advice, bring more than one food truck if you're going to bring one.
Absolutely.
We made the mistake of only having one food truck at our first event, Apollo Rising, and I believe the line was 100 people long the entire lunch break. So
Yep.
definitely have multiple avenues for people to kind of split the crowd up and everything.
Yeah.
So
We had a taco truck at an event. They ran out of tacos. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
it was, they had to go get more. It was,
Airsofters, man, they're ravenous.
hey, they were good tacos. though.
Probably like the best food truck I ever had was they had mac and cheese covered in barbecue pulled pork with sliced jalapenos on top.
Oh my god.
It was, oh my gosh, it was.
I'm pretty sure I would have had to quit for the day after eating.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
we have a poll going on in the chat, so you viewers can answer us. So if Austin and Levi fought in a steel cage match, who would come out the victor? So put your answer down in the chat. Austin or Levi? Who would win in a steel cage match?
This is going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear the results.
I got the reach, but he's definitely he's got the redneck side to him. He's used to wrestling some pigs and everything. So I don't know. Man.
It's not cheating if you don't get caught, Levi.
That's true. That's true.
That's true. So
I'm quicker than I look.
What are some important factors when closing a venue after an event?
I think it's definitely important to make sure, one, that before you even close, I would say it's important all along to make sure you maintain contact with the landowner and are making sure that everything that's happening is, good for them and whatnot, and being like, okay, schedule's still on time, we're looking good for getting out at this time, just so they have an idea, because if they're spending their weekend there, you don't want to just leave them hanging or whatnot. So, letting them know, okay, this is definitely the time that we'll be cleaning up. This is exactly when we'll have players out by, and keeping them in the loop. Outside of that, making sure that you fulfill any duties that you originally mentioned. So if you said, hey, we're going to leave this place spotless, you leave it spotless. Anything that you agree to is something that you need to fulfill. If not, that shows bad in the community, and it shows bad on you, but everybody in Airsoft, because that landowner is going to associate you with Airsoft as a whole, since it's the only company they have any experience with. So I would say cleanup's very important in making sure that you fulfill those duties. And then, it's as much as it sucks, just cleaning up like the fobs and that kind of thing. It gets pretty nasty sometimes. I know people by the end of the weekend, they just leave their stuff and everything, but making sure that those areas are cleaned up and making sure everybody's off the property and security and that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely doing a good sweep of the AO at the end and making sure everybody's off the property is really important. Because when you do have those cool, unique AOs, a lot of people want to stick around and kind of explore a little bit. And that's definitely not something most landowners are open to or happy about. So you definitely want to make sure the property's clear at the end of the game as well.
What are there any other things that you guys do to maintain a positive relationship with the landowners?
Definitely I was just gonna say, definitely just being super upfront, like Austin said. You definitely want to let them know before people show up exactly what's going to happen, exactly what the sport is, exactly that there's going to be pyro, stuff like that. You definitely want to make sure, like Austin said, you fulfill anything you said. If you said we're going to sweep up all the hallways, you need to do it. And yeah, just keeping a clear line of communication with them, letting them know what's going on, and making them feel like they're involved and up to date on what's happening.
Gotcha.
I'm sure Austin can tie into that as well.
Yeah, I would say, it's with anything in business. You got to make sure that both parties are taken care of and make sure that each one feels heard. You can't just go in and be like, okay, they've given us the keys to the castle, now we're going to run with it and we're not going to listen to a word they say. That's the quickest way to never develop a relationship. And that's what it is at the end of the day, is developing a good relationship, because that's going to lead to opportunities down the road.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gotcha. So the mod 2.5 has given me the votes in for who would win in a steel cage match. And even though people say that Austin is 17 feet tall, Levi would win solely for the fact because he has a beard.
Coming in clutch, man.
The beard game is strong. So
we're gonna have to do
power.
this. We'll have to do this poll again in 5 years when I finally hit the peach fuzz.
Oh, the peach fuzz in 5 years. Hey, Greg asks, how do you guys decide on commanders or generals for your events?
It's definitely something that we struggle with. It's hard to find someone that's willing to put in the work and planning and time to be a good commander. It's definitely, it is a big time commitment. You spend a lot of time dealing with stupid questions and, I've heard it called a lot just herding cats. Like, it's just about impossible to get airsofters to do what you need them to do. So it's definitely something that we've gone to a lot of people that we know have a lot of good experience and that we trust. So we've found some good commanders that way. But yeah, it's definitely hard. It's hard to find good commanders.
I would equate it to basically a leap of faith, because you're taking the information that you know about a particular person, which may not be very much. It could just be based off of word of mouth and someone recommending, and you're basically being like, here, you take care of, these 100 players or whatever, and make sure that you kind of make sure that they have a good time. So that's definitely, like you said, it takes a special kind of person in order to be able to fill that role and everything. So I think the biggest thing we look for is just reputation and asking around. And now we've had the opportunity to kind of see, we've had 4 events now, so we'll have 4 events. It's a situation where you kind of look at, okay, who stepped up in certain situations? What did we witness? What did past commanders witness? And who was able to lead their squad or their platoon efficiently? And who may have what it takes to step up and continue to move up that ladder.
Yeah, and like Austin said, the commanders are a huge part of players having a good time, because they're, like he said, they're managing those players and directing them and everything. So you definitely got to be careful in choosing them, because it does have a huge impact on whether players have a good time or not.
Mm-hmm.
No, absolutely.
Gotcha. And Mod 2.5, we can get an update on who has the hammer comment of the night. It was, Dolce Carter. Sounds like a Starbucks drink by Christine Saltsider. Put it up in the chat if there's anybody else that has beaten her in the hammer comment of the night. As we're wrapping up, I mean, Bo Johnson, he's, even though he says the beard always wins, unless Austin comes armed and strangles him with his pink Millennial Beats headsets by
There you
Dr.
go.
Dre.
That's what they're used for, man.
Andrew, this ain't color correct. Those are pink. You are seeing pink on the screen. Andrew wants,
it's Austin's
wants
favorite
the
color, so I
Hey,
mean,
as long as you embrace it, I think it's you can pull it off. So it's all about the confidence.
Chad Carter comes back and he says Austin benches like 30 grams per rep. Damn.
Oof. F.
Man,
And then Chad said,
catch me on the mile time though. That's what I'm built for. I'm built for endurance, not for power. So.
Andrew saying, rock that pink, bro. Rock that. Rock that. Pink.
There you go.
Evan's like, lightish red? Mod says, no, it's salmon color.
There you go.
There you go. Salmon.
So Deadpool says Austin would win it. Takes a real man to wear pink headphones. Sabrina says, don't listen to them, Austin. Coming from War Baby's mom, your headphones are cool.
Awesome.
Whoa.
Hey, that's all I care about.
Wait,
Thank
is
you,
that
Sabrina. I appreciate
Andrew?
it.
Is that the hammer comment? Tell me the hammer comment, Andrew. Is it the one just above you about that Sabrina said, or what was it? So, Blackbeard says he likes your headsets.
That's all that matters. We're just here to make Alphonse happy, so
Yep.
it's all about him.
Oh, Chad's like, oh, let me get your hammer. I've been locked up in Facebook jail for weeks with no gummies. Chad, you smuggled in that 10-pound bag of gummies somehow, because I know that wasn't on the commissary list. So, I don't know how you... so Chad Dolce Carter, man, he's got the hammer comment of the night.
Oh, wow.
Going once, going twice. Chad Dolce Carter redeemed himself by coming back with the hammer. So, yeah, that was the comment. Oh, let me get your hammer. I've been locked up for weeks with no gummies. Chad Carter, the Facebook parolee. Wonder if he's got like a little ankle monitor.
Could be.
That'd be cool. We want to see a picture of the ankle monitor. So we will get a t-shirt at the Chad, either the As Seen on the Valken Debrief or the Valken Alliance. But that does it for about all the time we have for tonight, as we siphoning off some time and some budget off of the Valken Core Show. As Darth Valken would lovingly put, it's our sister show. I'm not going to look at the comments. I got to avoid the comments as we wrap up. So, guys, don't forget, if you just came in at the tail end of the show, The show will be uploaded to our Valken Video YouTube channel. We have a playlist for Valken Debriefs. You can go back and watch any other the debriefs like a podcast. You know, on your way into work, you can just let it listen, go through the show. Because sometimes, you know, Facebook's kind of wonky when you kind of go back and try to watch a live show. Sometimes it cuts off and stuff. But that's why we always, for you, the viewer, we download every show every week and we put it up on YouTube for those of you that had life going on. So be sure to follow us on all our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Guys, Levi, Austin, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thanks,
you guys rock.
Thanks for having us on.
You know,
Yeah, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
All the best. Sleeping Giant, they're almost sold out. These guys are doing a great job. Go support them. Show your love
Absolutely.
in the Midwest. What's the website they can go buy tickets for Sleeping Giant? Real quick.
Yeah, so if you just go to www.asrepublic.com, you'll find a link to our Ticket Bud site.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful time. Those of you in Northern California, we will see you Saturday at the EVIC Outpost grand opening
Absolutely.
at GamePod in Antioch, California. Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.